Can I ask you something a little personal? Have you ever walked into the kitchen, opened the fridge, and suddenly forgotten what you were looking for? Or maybe you've been in the middle of a conversation and the right word just slipped away. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Millions of Americans over the age of 60 quietly carry this same fear that these little slips might be the first signs of something bigger, like dementia or Alzheimer's. But here's the hopeful truth. Science is showing us that the brain is not powerless. In fact, recent research from Rush University Medical Center in Chicago proves that simple, everyday habits can dramatically lower your risk. Your brain can be strengthened, protected, even rejuvenated, starting with choices as small as what you put on your breakfast plate tomorrow morning. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to stand beside you. To share the knowledge I've gained over 30 years as a neurologist, and to remind you that every step you take matters. If you've ever had one of those senior moments, type 1 inch the comments. If not, type 0. I'd love to hear your story. And if you want to keep your brain sharp, please hit subscribe and ring the bell so we never lose touch. Your mornings matter, and so does your brain. Number 1, hook opening, fear and hope. Can I ask you something that many people are often too shy to admit out loud? Have you ever found yourself standing in front of your front door, holding your keys, and suddenly not remembering why you were there in the first place? Or maybe you ran into an old friend, and for a split second, their name completely vanished from your mind. If that sounds familiar, you are far from alone. Across the United States, millions of adults over the age of 60 quietly share the same fear. They worry that these little slips may be the first warning signs of dementia or Alzheimer's disease. It is one of the most common concerns I hear in my office, even from patients who look perfectly healthy. They lean in, lower their voices, and ask me the same question. Doctor, am I losing my mind? Here is the hopeful truth. Memory loss does not always mean dementia. And more importantly, modern science is showing us that the brain is not helpless. A groundbreaking study published in March 2025 inches, the journal JAMA Network Open, confirmed what many of us neurologists have long suspected. Simple daily habits, the kinds of choices you and I make every single morning, can dramatically lower the risk of dementia. Think about that for a moment. You are not powerless. You do not have to sit back and wait for your memory to fade. You can build a stronger brain, starting with small, practical steps. Even something as simple as choosing oatmeal with berries instead of a sugary pastry at breakfast is like laying down a brick in the wall that protects your brain. I want you to remember one thing as we begin this journey together. I am not here to frighten you. I am here to stand beside you, to guide you with what I have learned in more than 30 years as a neurologist. I believe your brain deserves protection, respect, and care, and I believe you can take action starting today. If you have ever had one of those moments when a memory slipped away, let me know in the comments with the number 1. If not, share a 0. Your story might encourage someone else who is feeling the same fear. And do not forget to subscribe so that we can keep walking this road together. Your mornings matter, and so does your brain. Number 2, the silent link between heart and brain. Most people think of the heart and brain as two very different organs. One pumps blood, the other holds memories. But the truth is, they are deeply connected, like two ends of the same highway. When the road is clear, blood flows freely, carrying oxygen and nutrients to fuel your thoughts, your memories, and your personality. But when the road is blocked, the traffic jam is not only in your chest, it reaches your brain. Research has shown that conditions such as atrial fibrillation, high blood pressure, and heart failure do not just harm the heart. They quietly raise the risk of cognitive decline. Why? Because the brain is one of the hungriest organs in the body. It makes up only 2% of your weight, yet it uses about 20% of your oxygen supply. Without a strong, steady flow from the heart, brain cells begin to struggle. One of the most powerful lessons from the Chicago Health and Aging Project is this: people with healthier cardiovascular systems had healthier brains too. Their blood tests showed lower levels of a dangerous marker called neurofilament light chain, or NFL. High levels of NFL are like a silent alarm bell, warning us that brain cells are being damaged. Think of it this way: your heart is like the engine of your car. Your brain is the navigation system. If the engine misfires, the GPS might still light up, but it cannot take you very far. The health of one determines the health of the other. This is why protecting your heart is one of the smartest things you can do for your memory. Every choice you make for your blood vessels, walking daily, eating foods rich in fiber, keeping your blood pressure under control, becomes a gift for your brain. Let me ask you, when was the last time you checked your blood pressure at home? If you cannot remember, that is your first step today. A simple reading can reveal so much about how your heart is supporting your brain. So as we move forward, keep this truth in mind. Every heartbeat is a message to your memory. Every step you take for your heart is a step you take for your brain. Number 3, 7 golden habits, the wall against dementia. Imagine building a wall around your brain, a wall designed to keep out memory loss and protect your independence. Each brick in that wall is one healthy habit, and together they form what the American Heart Association calls life's simple 7. These habits are not exotic. They are everyday choices within your reach. The 7 golden habits are: eat better, get physically active, maintain a healthy weight, do not smoke, manage blood pressure, control cholesterol, and reduce blood sugar. Simple words, but each one carries power. Eating better means choosing whole grains, fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and cutting back on processed foods. Getting active does not mean running marathons. It can be as simple as walking around the block after dinner. Maintaining a healthy weight keeps strain off your heart and lowers your risk of diabetes, both of which are linked to brain decline. Not smoking is perhaps the strongest choice you can make. Every cigarette narrows your blood vessels, choking off the oxygen your brain desperately needs. Managing your blood pressure and cholesterol prevents the silent damage that builds up over years, like rust inside a pipe. And controlling blood sugar protects your tiny blood vessels from the sugar spikes that can scar them permanently. In 2022, experts even added an 8th habit: getting quality sleep. Sleep is when the brain takes out the trash, clearing away harmful proteins that build up during the day. Without it, toxins linger and memory suffers. Now, I want you to picture each habit as a brick. One by itself will not build a fortress, but 7 stacked together, reinforced by good sleep, form a wall strong enough to guard your brain for years to come. Here is the question I want to ask you. Which of these 7 habits feels the hardest for you to follow right now? Be honest, because admitting the struggle is the first step toward change. Share it in the comments, and you may inspire someone else who feels exactly the same. Remember this: your brain is worth protecting, and these 7 golden habits are the tools in your hands to do it. Number 4, eating smart, the hidden enemy at the table. Food can be your greatest medicine or your slowest poison. The problem is that the most dangerous threats often hide in plain sight, right on your plate. For many older Americans, the real enemy is not just overeating, it is hidden sugar, salt, and processed fat. Take sugar, for example. A single can of soda pours nearly 7 teaspoons of sugar into your body. That sugar does not just expand your waistline, It inflames your blood vessels, damages your heart, and starves your brain cells of the steady fuel they need. Over time, this kind of daily assault can speed up memory loss. Salt is another silent saboteur. Too much salt raises your blood pressure, which slowly erodes the delicate blood vessels in your brain. Think of it like corrosion in a water pipe. You may not notice it today, but year after year, the damage adds up until something bursts. And then there are unhealthy fats. Processed snacks, fried foods, and fast food meals often hide trans fats and saturated fats. These clog your arteries, stiffen your blood vessels, and limit the very oxygen your brain depends on. But here is the hopeful truth. Every meal is a new chance to protect your brain. Choosing fresh fruit over a packaged dessert, swapping fried chicken for grilled salmon, or adding a handful of walnuts to your salad. Each of these small steps becomes an investment in your memory. Now, let me bring you in for a moment. Have you ever looked at the back of a food package and felt shocked by how much sugar or salt was hiding inside? Or maybe you tried cutting out soda or sweets and you actually felt your energy improve. I would love for you to share your story in the comments. Your experience might inspire someone else who is struggling with the same hidden enemies. I say this not as a lecture, but as a doctor who has walked beside patients for decades. I have seen men and women in their 70s and 80s transform their energy, their clarity, and their independence by making small but powerful changes to what they eat. You can do the same. Your fork can either be a weapon against your brain or a shield to protect it. The choice, every day, is in your hands. Number 5, movement, the free medicine for your brain. If I could write one prescription for every patient over 60 without side effects and without cost, it would be this: movement. Exercise is not just for your muscles or your heart. It is one of the most powerful medicines for your brain. Here is why. Every time you walk, cycle, or stretch, your heart pumps faster. That extra blood flow carries oxygen and nutrients to the brain. It also stimulates the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, often called fertilizer for brain cells. This natural chemical helps your neurons grow stronger connections, protecting your memory against decline. Studies have shown that even light physical activity lowers levels of neurofilament light chain, the biomarker linked to brain cell damage. In other words, moving your body slows down the silent wear and tear inside your brain. Now, let us be clear. Movement does not mean running marathons or joining a gym. For many of my patients, it begins with something as simple as walking around the block, gardening, or dancing to an old favorite song in the living room. 20 minutes a day is enough to change the health of your brain. Think of it this way. A sedentary lifestyle is like parking a car in the driveway and never turning on the engine. The battery drains, the tires crack, the parts rust. But when you drive it regularly, everything stays alive and ready. Your body and brain are the same. So let me ask you directly. When was the last time you broke a light sweat, not from chores, but from intentional movement? Was it yesterday, last week, or longer? Be honest with yourself, and if you are comfortable, share your answer in the comments. You may encourage someone else who feels stuck in the same rut. I have watched patients in their 70s regain balance, reduce their reliance on walkers, and even sharpen their memory simply by moving more. Their faces light up as they discover freedom again, the freedom to walk into the kitchen without fear of falling, or to remember a grandchild's birthday without hesitation. Movement is not punishment. It is a gift, a free medicine waiting for you every morning. And the more you take it, the stronger your brain becomes. Number 6. Sleep well. The forgotten secret of brain protection. For years, doctors and researchers talked about 7 habits for heart and brain health. But in 2022, The American Heart Association added an eighth one: quality sleep. Why? Because sleep is not just rest. It is active, powerful therapy for your brain. When you fall into deep sleep, your brain begins a cleanup shift. Imagine a team of night workers sweeping through the streets of your mind, clearing away harmful proteins like amyloid and tau. These proteins, when left behind, pile up and are strongly linked to Alzheimer's disease and other dementias. Without enough deep sleep, that garbage simply lingers, slowly poisoning memory and focus. Think about the last time you missed a full night's sleep. The next morning, your thoughts probably felt cloudy, your mood fragile, and your recall shaky. That is not just fatigue, it is your brain struggling without its nightly reset. Over months and years, chronic sleep loss raises blood pressure, disturbs blood sugar, and accelerates cognitive decline. The hopeful news is that your brain responds quickly when you honor your need for rest. Studies show that older adults who consistently get between 7 and 9 hours of quality sleep have sharper memory, steadier moods, and lower risks of dementia. So what counts as quality sleep? It means falling asleep within a reasonable time, staying asleep without long periods of tossing and turning, and waking up refreshed instead of exhausted. Creating a bedtime routine, dimming the lights, lowering the room temperature, avoiding screens, signals to your brain that it is time to begin its healing work. Let me ask you, how many hours of sleep did you get last night? Was it deep, restful sleep, or did you wake up several times? Be honest with yourself, and if you are comfortable, share your sleep story in the comments. You may discover that many others in this community are facing the same challenge. As a neurologist, I have seen patients change the trajectory of their memory simply by protecting their sleep. One patient in his late 70s began setting a strict bedtime and stopped drinking coffee after lunch. Within weeks, he reported clearer thinking and more energy. Small changes, big results. Your brain deserves this gift. Sleep is not wasted time, it is nightly maintenance for the most important organ in your body. Treat your bedtime like medicine, because in truth, it island. Number 7. Managing chronic conditions, protecting the pipes that feed the brain. Picture the blood vessels in your body as a vast network of pipes. These pipes carry oxygen and nutrients to every cell in your brain. When the pipes are clear, the flow is smooth, and your brain thrives. But when they are clogged, stiff, or damaged, the flow slows down. Over time, brain cells begin to starve. That is why managing chronic conditions like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and high blood sugar is one of the most powerful ways to protect your memory. High blood pressure, often called the silent killer, weakens the walls of your arteries. Inside the brain, those fragile vessels can rupture or narrow, leading to tiny strokes that chip away at memory. High cholesterol adds to the danger by creating plaque fatty deposits that stick to the inside of your vessels, shrinking the space where blood can flow. And uncontrolled blood sugar, common in diabetes, acts like tiny shards of glass, scratching and scarring the vessel walls until they harden. The Chicago Health and Aging Project gave us clear proof. Adults with higher cardiovascular health scores, meaning they controlled these conditions, had lower levels of neurofilament light chain, the marker of brain damage. Those with the lowest scores saw this marker rise by about 7% per year, while the healthiest group rose by only 5%. That small difference matters. Over a decade, it can be the line between independence and decline. Managing these numbers is not just about taking pills. It is about lifestyle choices layered together. A balanced diet, regular movement, stress management, and yes, medications when necessary. I tell my patients to think of it as daily maintenance, like flushing out the pipes in your home. If you ignore it, the clogs build silently until the damage is beyond repair. Let me ask you something personal. When was the last time you checked your blood pressure or cholesterol? Was it this month, this year, or longer? Write it in the comments, not to be judged, but to remind yourself and inspire others. Sometimes, simply saying it out loud is the first step toward change. I have seen men and women in their 60s and 70s turn their health around by staying faithful to checkups, adjusting their diets, and taking their medicine regularly. The result is not just lower numbers on a chart, it is sharper thinking, steadier balance, and years of independence gained. Remember this truth: protect the pipes, and you protect the brain they feed. Every reading, every choice, is a step toward keeping your mind alive and strong. Number 8. Looking ahead, hope for your brain's future. When we talk about dementia, it is easy to feel discouraged, but I want you to know something important. The future of brain health has never looked brighter. Every year, scientists are uncovering new ways to protect memory, delay decline, and even reverse certain forms of damage. Take, for example, the study published in March 2025 inches JAMA Network Open. Researchers confirmed that people who lived by the 7 golden habits had nearly 20% lower levels of a dangerous brain marker called NFL. That is a sign that lifestyle changes can protect the brain at a cellular level. Just imagine what another decade of discoveries will bring. Across the country, leading institutions like the National Institute on Aging and Harvard Medical School are investing heavily in brain research. They are testing new medications that may slow down the buildup of harmful proteins. They are studying diets, exercise programs, and even digital tools that can help track memory changes early, long before symptoms become serious. But here is the part that gives me the most hope. You do not have to wait for tomorrow's science. You can act today. What you eat, how much you move, the quality of your sleep, and the strength of your social ties. These choices are powerful medicine. Every day you build a stronger brain now. You prepare yourself to benefit even more from tomorrow's advances. I want to ask you something personal. When you think about the future, what gives you the most hope for your health? Is it the thought of spending more years with family, seeing your grandchildren grow, or knowing that science is working to give you more time with your memories? Share your answer in the comments. You might inspire someone who needs encouragement today. The road ahead is not without challenges, but it is filled with opportunity. We are living in a time when knowledge is expanding, treatments are improving, and hope is real. So hold on to that hope. Protect your brain today, and trust that tomorrow will offer even more tools to keep your mind sharp and your memories alive. Number 9. Daily routine. Turning habits into lasting protection. Knowledge alone does not change the brain. Action does. And the best way to protect your memory is to take these 7 golden habits and weave them into the rhythm of your everyday life. A strong brain is built not from one big decision, but from small choices repeated day after day. Let us walk through a simple routine together. Imagine starting your morning with a bowl of oatmeal topped with berries and walnuts, instead of a sugary pastry. That single choice fuels your brain with fiber, antioxidants, and healthy fats, while avoiding the sugar spike that inflames your blood vessels. After breakfast, take a 10-minute walk around your neighborhood. The movement wakes up your circulation and primes your brain cells to focus for the day. In the afternoon, keep your body hydrated with water instead of soda. If you feel sluggish, step outside for a few minutes of sunlight and stretch your arms and legs. Better yet, call a friend, check in on a neighbor, or join a quick game of cards. These little bursts of connection light up your brain more than you might realize. As evening comes, aim for a light dinner rich in vegetables and lean protein. Skip heavy fried meals that disrupt digestion and sleep. Afterward, Spend a few minutes in gentle stretching or slow breathing signals to your body that it is time to wind down. Set a bedtime that allows you 7 to 9 hours of rest, and keep that schedule as faithfully as you would a prescription. This routine is not complicated. It is not about perfection. It is about consistency. The more these habits become automatic, the stronger your brain shield becomes. Now, let me turn this to you. What is one small habit you already practice each day that makes you feel healthier or clearer? Share it in the comments. Your routine could be the spark that helps someone else begin. Remember this: your daily choices are the bricks, and your routine is the wall. Build it steadily, and it will protect your independence and your memories for years to come. Number 10. Your brain deserves protection. We have traveled a long road together through habits, routines, and the science of protecting your most precious organ, your brain. And if there is one message I hope you carry with you, it is this: your brain deserves protection. It deserves your care, your attention, and your daily effort. The truth is simple but powerful. You are not powerless against memory loss. Each meal you choose, every step you take, each hour of restful sleep, every connection with a loved one, these are not small things. They are acts of protection. They are bricks in the wall that guards your independence, your memories, and your story. I have spent more than 30 years caring for patients in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. Many came to me worried, convinced that decline was inevitable, and yet I watched them change. By adjusting their diets, moving more, keeping up with checkups, and surrounding themselves with friends, they found new clarity. They found hope. Some told me, with tears in their eyes, "Doctor, I feel like I have my life back," and I believe you can feel that too. If you are listening now and thinking it is too late, let me comfort you. It is never too late. The brain is remarkably resilient. Even small changes, choosing water instead of soda, walking for 10 minutes, turning the lights down to honor your sleep, can bring real improvements. Your future is not written in stone. You can still write new chapters filled with energy, clarity, and joy. I encourage you to pause for a moment after this video. Reflect on what touched you the most. Was it the power of movement, the value of sleep, or the healing strength of companionship? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your words might be the lifeline someone else needs to hear tonight. And if you are ready to take the next step, I invite you to continue with me in the next video. Eating these foods daily may protect you from memory loss and dementia. In it, we will uncover the foods that science shows can nourish and defend your brain. Your mornings matter. Your choices matter. And most of all, you matter. Protect your brain before it needs saving, and let us walk this journey together.